It is Monday, November 15th. Hanging out here in a tree in my saddle, and brought out the Recurve, and and to be sitting here hanging out in a tree, watch Buck come running across the field and offer me a 6-yard shot. I honestly, in the heat of the moment, didn't know if I was going to shoot or not. I really didn't. But for video's sake, everything just came together perfectly. And I'm obsessed with deer hunting. I'm obsessed with big bucks. I'm every aspect of it. And I can get caught up very easily. And it's not, I don't want to be selfish. I mean, when an opportunity comes like that to where I can use my Recurve, there's just nothing that beats it. You know, a lot of people, they won't fill their tags because they're after only big bucks, specific bucks, and that's fantastic. I don't care. I don't even care. You can't eat antlers. I'd pride myself more with getting my stepson, getting him out, spending time with him, not having to worry about myself. I've got 4 doe tags. I mean, deer meat's not the problem or anything like that, but sometimes opportunity just takes precedence. And I have yet until now been able to self-film and get a buck with a Recurve. Good blood. Magnus. All right. First drop of blood right there. No. All right. We got blood here. Good blood, good color. So, all right, right here was the shot. Here's where he was standing. The tree is right there. I'm not really digging how little blood there is, but for a good hit, Sure isn't bleeding much, but sometimes what happens when they're running, the leaves will get kicked up and flipped over. Little tiny speck of blood right there. Attention to detail is everything. You look right there. Just barely. Right there is a speck of blood. And again, tiny little specks of blood. And this is a good hit on this deer. It's just not wanting to bleed. Put my arrow here. Look for the next spot. Alright, I want to take the opportunity. This is a learning experience. It's always a learning experience when you go out hunting. I put a good shot on this deer. So I'm about 20-25 yards from the hit site, and arrow's got great blood on it. The blood is sparse, but it's also very thick in here. So I want to show, like I said, I'm about between 20 and 30 yards from the initial hit, and this is the blood that I am working with here. When you really stand and look, you can pick out more and more spots, but I got right in here. And this can be very frustrating for new hunters. We're out here to put good, clean, ethical shots on game and put it down in a very timely fashion so that it doesn't suffer. You never want anything to suffer, that you shoot nice, clean kills. So yeah, this is what I'm working with for blood here, and the most important thing is not getting ahead of myself, taking my time. And if I gotta go for a little ways on my hands and knees, so be it. Probably 50 yards into it. Blood trail really is terrible. Just terrible, but it's consistent enough that I've been able to keep in a direction which is bright red, but I'm literally just taking this foot by foot and taking my time. It's really all you can do in this scenario, and we got a dead deer. I know that is a dead deer. We've got some blood here and hair. Just 1 foot at a time. what it's gonna take. The shot is good. My guess, after reviewing the footage, is the rear lobe of the lungs, diaphragm, liver. My arrow has a slight odor to it, but there's no food matter or anything like that on the arrow. It's just... So, I figured I've got a dog that I can shoot an arrow out at a target and miss, and it can bury itself under leaves and dirt, and all she's got to do is walk up and she finds it, pulls it out of the ground. If I've got a dog that can do that, I'm pretty sure I've got a dog that can help me find my deer. So yeah, me and Penelope are headed out. We're gonna track this deer. So we got up here to the site of the hit, got Penelope. I'm gonna get her. She actually seems to have picked up on it right away. But I'm gonna start her with some blood and see if I can get her on the right track. Now, interesting. Put Penelope on the trail, and without hesitation just followed it straight to the arrow that I have stuck in the ground. I checked the field before I left, got the obvious open spot out of the way, and it turned up nothing. So I have just put her on this track. If I have to restart her, so be it. But I said find the deer, and she seems to be on the track. So I haven't taken time to look for the blood. I'm just kind of trusting her. If I've got to restart her, like I said, that's no big deal. So, alright, so I just trusted my dog and it was freaking amazing, because we came through all this thick stuff. I was really trusting her, not looking for blood or anything like that. We came up here, started her on the track one time, thought she got a little askew, so I started her a second time. And would you look at this, not only can she fetch arrows, she can retrieve deer too. Things happen for a reason, praise God. I'll tell you what, if I was by myself, I'd be really struggling to find this deer. This is absolutely amazing. Good job, Penelope, good girl. Good girl. Oh, that right there made it all worth it. I love you. That's my baby girl right there. She took me right to the deer. Oh, baby girl, you're beautiful. And there, for the team effort, is my 2021 Kansas whitetail deer. Let's see this entrance. Not bad. Not entirely bad. Definitely got diaphragm, a little bit of lungs. Alright, so I shot my buck this morning. Blood trail was not good at all. It was slightly quartered to me. You see the shot was a little back. I knew it was back. I knew it wasn't guts, but I knew it wasn't heart and direct lungs. And the exit was slightly back where I lost last blood. He's only as the crow flies, probably maybe 150 yards. But it took 2 starts. First start, she was on it, and I don't think, honestly, I just don't think she quite put it together in her head what we were doing. But I let her, on the first start, kind of take the reins, and I knew I had marked last blood with an arrow, and she did lead me to the arrow, but then we kind of got off track, headed a little more towards the north, and so I took her back and restarted her, and I said, Penelope, you find that deer. And she walked me right to it on a direct line. I'm positive she took the exact route that the deer took by the way she was smelling on the way here. And I don't care if it's a little buck. I don't even care. This is absolutely amazing to be able to test my dog's abilities. The beautiful thing is she doesn't want anything to do with the deer. You're not fond of that thing at all, are you? He said, nope, I don't like it. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, I would not have it any other way. Beautiful. What we have here, I was probably 14 feet in the tree. The deer was 8 yards away, slightly, ever so slightly, quarter to. Entrance was right here. You can see low, the height was perfect. I just needed, ideally, to be right there, probably 4 inches more to the left. But regardless, this shot went in right here. That's the entrance. The exit came out a little far back. What that was lungs. I got the back of the lungs and the esophagus, where it comes through in the diaphragm. Explains why the blood trail was very terrible, because as soon as it passed through all that, all the food that was in the esophagus plugged this hole. And it's a decent hole, but regardless, everything plugged that hole. So, blood was terrible. Come here, sweetheart. Come here. Good girl. So, I ran out of blood. I backed out, gave time on my side, and had last blood marked with the arrow. First time I set her loose on it, I let her follow it on her own, and she followed it right from the start to the arrow, and then we kind of got off track. But she led me out and around, and I restarted her back on at the very beginning from the first blood, and she literally walked me right to this deer.